Welcome to I Know Jax, the show about fun things to do in Jacksonville. In our show, we find cool and interesting places to visit with friends and family. Now, it's easy to end up in a rut. Sometimes you end up doing the same old thing, ordering the same old food, meeting the same old friends, and hanging out with the same old wife. I guess sometimes routine is a good thing, but there are times when you're ready for a little bit of adventure. In the Relax and Jax segment, it's meant to inspire and give you ideas for new experiences. And that's exactly what we did this time around. We visited a place with a bunch of cool people and made some really good new friends. This time we visited Intuition Ale Works. In the Relax and Jax segment, we always try and find you a great place to hang out with family and friends. And today we're at Intuition Ale Works.
Things are great. We can't keep up with demand. We're looking
That's a good problem.
Yeah, we're looking at expanding into probably Tallahassee and Gainesville next.
Cool.
And then in Tampa, possibly Orlando. We're going to start canning our beers, 3 of our beers, hopefully starting in January.
Nice.
And it'll be interesting to see how that turns out, just because right now we only do keg beer, we only do draft beer, so we're kind of limited to only basically people that sell draft beer.
Right.
This is going to open us up to grocery stores, liquor stores.
More mass market, a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah, more volume basically.
Cool. That's got to be a good thing, right?
Yeah, it's definitely scary. 'Cause you just don't, it's success. We've done really well, but it's, there's definitely headaches associated with it.
Well, and you just celebrated your 1-year anniversary too, right?
Well, technically, yes. We brewed our first batch on October 8th of 2010, but we will celebrate our anniversary to the consumers on November 19th. It's a Saturday.
Nice.
That's when we opened up our tap room.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
A lot of consumers think that craft beer is all about big, hoppy, bitter, dark beers, and we want to show people that there's light beers with a lot of flavor and complexity. There's just so many different styles of beer available for people to enjoy. It's not just, hey, if you want something light, it has to be a lager.
Right.
It can be a Belgian golden ale. It could be a American wheat. It can be a lot of different styles.
What's your favorite thing about the whole beer making process?
One, it's nice, like coming from the winemaking background where I'd have red wines that, would take 2 years in barrel before we'd release, and you can't really fix them. You have to wait that long to be able to fix a beer, whereas with the wine, but with a beer, we're brewing stuff that's in keg in 3 weeks. And so that kind of allows us to tweak the recipes.
A little more experimentation, maybe?
Yeah, and just, it's just fun to make as many different styles as we can. I think we have 15 beers on tap now in our tap room, which, that's pretty cool. There aren't too many breweries of our size that probably want to create that much of a headache for ourselves and make that many different styles, but it's fun.
Beer is the new wine. It's really taken off in the past few years, and Jacksonville is right on the cusp of becoming a major beer destination. We have something like 7 breweries now, and we're looking at adding probably a couple more within the next year or so.
We started, I think, with 4 beers. There was People's Pale, King Street Stout, Willow Branch Wheat, and I-10. Those beers were our first beers that we had. As you can see from behind me, we're up to 20 taps now. So to go from 4 beers to 20 beers in 1 year is a really big deal. And so if we can do that in 1 year to increase the capacity of what we've started brewing and where we're at now, I can only imagine that we'd start getting outside of the city and then outside of the state, and could be something, a force to be reckoned with in the national beer scene.
Mug Club is basically, it's a group of people who purchased a membership into the Mug Club. You get one of these nice mugs. It's got Intuition Ale Works on it, and it has a little dog tag on it. The dog tag has your Mug Club membership. When I joined the very first day it was available. The first 10 numbers were reserved for friends and family. I didn't know anybody here all that well at that point yet, but I'm number 11, so I'm really probably the first Mug Club member after friends and family.
And I was not one of their initial 200 members. I was number 201. I had to join through their initiation through the Summer Mug Club. And basically it was an excuse to come in here and drink a fair amount of beer. And now I'm a member and I'm quite happy to be so.
I'm number 4 in the Mug Club. I'm sure that the Mug Club, as it was explained to you before, the top 10 were given to people. So I was given one of the memberships into the Mug Club. for all the help that I did in getting everything going.
What's your favorite beer? Do you have a favorite here?
I mean, I like the IPAs we do a lot just because they're styles of IPA that I like to drink. You know, I like the Belgian beers that we make. I like them. I mean, there's some I don't like. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Hefeweizens. We made one for Oktoberfest, which is that kind of more banana-y, really spicy style of wheat. Not a big fan of that style, but people like it. So, you know, I can't obviously make
Everything just for you?
Yeah. I have to be kind of selfless in some regards.
My favorite beer is I-10 IPA. I've always been a big fan of IPAs. I like the floral aroma that is present in an IPA, the citrus flavor that's there. They're really bold beers. They got a lot of flavor to them. So I like that, and I-10 to me is just one of the pinnacles of what an I-10 or an IPA should be.
Favorite beer here is, well, it's Golden Spiral. Is the one that I drink most of the time here, but I also like the newer one that he's got out now. It's called Mercury Wings, which was a contest winner from a person from Cask.
My favorite beer is probably the I-10. It's one of their most popular. It's a real hoppy pale ale. It's delicious. It's not what I'm drinking now. I'm drinking one of their fall beers, one of their specialty beers. It's new today. Which one is it? They're just calling it the Fall Saison, I believe. It doesn't really have a catchy name yet. We were calling it the Fall Back earlier, but Brian didn't like that, so.
Just make, you know, as much beer as we can and try to get it out to as many people as possible, and just stick with, you know, what I consider to be kind of our mission, which is just to make good local beer.
Now, you should never judge a book by its cover, throw the baby out with the bathwater, or jump to conclusions. Keep that in mind when you drive by this place on Old St. Augustine Road. By the looks of it, you'd never guess that you'll find some of the best seafood in town at this little joint. The owner, Art, is a real personality who treats everyone like a family member. Art doesn't only cook great food, he's also a great entertainer. This is the Art of Cracker Cooking, North Florida's icon, where eating is an experience. We visited Checkers Barbecue for a buffet dinner one night.
Crab cakes, made with real crab meat, cornmeal, the way Granny did it.
Art was preparing seafood while his assistant Larry was grilling ribs in an oven big enough to fit a whole pig. Surf and turf.
Yeah, we have a redneck surf and turf. It's smoked tender ribs, and it's supposed to be 25 of our fresh river shrimp that we're serving right now.
Now, I had more than 25.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. I went to school in Jacksonville, and this many is 25. So,
okay.
And
how do you serve them?
Hot shrimp, hot shrimp. That's what we're doing. You may not recognize the flavor, but it's real crab meat. Spelled with a C.
Check this out.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, I won't.
Thank you.
Can I have like two? Just two.
Okay, there's two in there.
Okay, thanks.
We had a great time together. Art had so many stories to tell about food and life back in the good old days. He also told me he used to own a fish camp, but didn't want to reveal which one.
seafood extravaganza is a buffet we created out at the Palms Fish Camp. Oh, I gave it up. Okay, we used to own the Palms Fish Camp. And we have a Little Marsh Island casserole. It was right on Little Marsh Island.
One of those Depression era dishes, I heard.
Well, you're exactly right. My mother's family came from the Depression time, and they just had potatoes a lot of times. And down the street, they brought in the scallops, and there was a lady named Connie. Well, her name was Connie Wolf at that. No, it was. Okay, we'll say it was Connie. We'll just say Connie. I forget her other name, but she was beautiful blonde, but she could cook well. And
Not a bad combo.
no, not a bad combo. You got a package there. And her and my mother came up with the Little Marsh Island casserole. It's quite a tasty thing with the fresh whipped potatoes, the ocean scallops, a few seasonings, a little bit of garlic, a little bit of cheese, and a little bit of love, and we never tell you what part that is, and baked off, and it's delicious.
And the fried green tomatoes were awesome as well.
Authentic. You slice them thin, and you deep fry them in our zero trans fat oil that we fry in, and they should have a little crispness to them, and we use flour. And a lot of times what the big question was back then is, how do you know, or people say, how would you know what to use flour or cornmeal? Well, when you're frying fish, you use cornmeal. When you're frying chicken, you use flour. Or back then, you really used whatever you get to get your hands on.
Right.
Yeah. But we have a good time with it. After we've done filled you up with the fresh shrimp and the fish battered with cornmeal like Grandma would do, we go around with blackened shrimp, Jacksonville style.
And I have to say, that was my favorite thing of the whole night. Was
A
the
lot
blackened
of
shrimp.
people.
Oh man.
We're serving that at a wedding, as a matter of fact, on Saturday night. It's a favorite. We do not overpower the shrimp with the
still taste the shrimp
cayenne.
in there.
Yeah, that's right. And we want you to. How about that? That fresh shrimp. That's hot fresh shrimp. That's what I'm talking about.
And then when it's all said and done, you have a doggy bag policy that blew me away.
Yeah, well, see, if they don't eat everything on our little buffet, we have everything served in iron skillets. If they don't eat everything, we're not a house that saves our leftovers. It's like coming here, like you would go to your grandmother's on Sunday dinner or something, and she would want you to wrap
Remind me
up.
a little of a church social or
Church,
something.
wrap it up. We got tin foil. Take it with you. Take some with you. We're not like that. We want you to feel like you've come to a family member's house and had a soiree. What to expect? Other than everything?
Besides the unexpected, because that was definitely what we got.
Having it cracker style. You don't get it anywhere in North Florida like you get it here. It's authentic, and it's fresh, and it's delicious, and it's fun. And we love to do it. So that's what you get here. Up in here.
Up in here.
Up in here.
That's how we do it.
That's how we do it up in here. That's what I'm talking about. I really get your attention when I come out with the meat cleaver. But at Checker, we love it when friends and family come together as you have. And these people right here have eaten with me since the fish camp days. And today is Dorothy's birthday. It's her 16th birthday again. I think we've done this 3 times now. Well, so happy birthday to you.
I recommend that you go try Checkers out for yourself. And when you do, let Art know that I sent you. And if you want more information about the restaurants featured on the show, go to knowjax.com for details. Now, everything we do is about having fun and enjoying yourself. And in this week's Hit the Road Jax segment, we visit Cumberland Island National Seashore. In Hit the Road Jax, we explore fun destinations within a reasonable driving distance from Jacksonville. Today, our destination is Cumberland Island. Cumberland Island is one of the largest undeveloped barrier islands along the Atlantic coast and is a national seashore. Let's go exploring. Cumberland's history is rich and colorful, starting with the Timucuan Indians, then continuing with the French, the Spanish, pirates, steel magnates, and cotton plantations. Behind me is Dungeness, one of Cumberland's icons. Can you imagine how beautiful this was in its heyday? Dungeness burned in a fire said to have been set by a poacher, but who knows? Islands are always full of legends, rumors, and stories, and Cumberland is no exception. Roughly 90% of Cumberland Island is protected. Protection from humans has been done by limiting access. Only about 300 day trippers and a few camping permit holders are allowed on the island, and the only access is by boat. I'm with Fred Boyle, Superintendent of the Cumberland Island National Seashore. How you doing, Fred?
Doing well.
Now, I understand you guys have started a new program out here on the island. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yes, back in August we started the Lands and Legacies Tour to the north end of Cumberland Island. It includes a number of the historic sites that are difficult to see otherwise because they're so far up the island.
Cumberland Island contains 4 major historic districts and 87 structures listed on the National Register of Historic Places. There is lots more to see on this beautiful island, so take the first chance you get to visit it for yourself. I want all our I Know Jax friends to go to aedpetitionnow.com and sign the electronic petition supporting the mission to have an AED in every public school by 2014. The Jacksonville Giants are getting ready for another record-breaking season with a whole new dance team. Mr. Biggs is there to supervise the tryouts.
We are the Jacksonville Giant Jewel!
We met up with Spencer Howland, the coach and owner of Jacksonville Axemen, during a practice session at UNF to talk rugby. This is what he had to say about the upcoming Rugby League Atlantic Cup event the organization is hosting.
Mate, we're preparing for the Rugby League Atlantic Cup, 3rd year in a row here in Jacksonville. To be honest, we're pretty excited about it. To be able to bring international teams in like we have for 3 years in a row. This year probably more so than ever, team coming in from the United Kingdom and also from Australia. So probably, obviously Australia being the nation that's furthest away from us making the trip. And the UK, look, it's one of the hubs of our sport, so we're excited to have 2 dominant squads coming here to test ourselves against. This year the Axemen get to represent the United States, so we're excited that we can actually go out there on behalf of the USA. And obviously, USA Rugby League is looking at this event as where do we go from here? So we've had 3 teams now 2 years in a row, potential maybe for 4 next year. So if Jacksonville loves the sport, loves the event, things are onwards and upwards for us here. Look, mate, the fans can expect a ton of stuff. Obviously, you bring international teams and you bring international culture in. A lot of the guys come in not only to play the sport, and it is very serious, this competition for them, but they're here looking to experience American culture. We're certainly looking at having both teams, along with the Axemen, involved on a Thanksgiving Day event. We're going to look at doing something on the Thursday for them, maybe, cut some turkey, etc. And obviously the post-game events, look, we're going to get down to timeout. We're looking at a couple of other venues. The guys obviously will go down to the Jacksonville Suns. They really want to see, the All-American sport baseball, trying to tee up another tour down to the Jaguars, out to the Budweiser Brewery. There's lots going on in the city of Jacksonville and all of Northeast Florida. And of course they will take their that little trip down to Orlando to see the sights down there as well. So it's a great event for us, a great event for the city of Jacksonville and for the state of Florida pretty much.
Come join us at University of North Florida's Hodges Field for some real rugby action, or watch the game live on iknowjax.com. The guys at My 904 always have some great giveaways in store for the I Know Jax viewers, and this week we have something big, really big, big ticket big. That's right, we're giving away 4 tickets to the Big Ticket concert event featuring bands like Sublime with Rome, A Day to Remember, Taking Back Sunday, and Switchfoot, to the first 4 fans to tag I Know Jax at the My 904 Facebook page. If you have ideas for stories we should do, cool places to hang out, or people to meet, let me know. You can find all the information about how to submit your suggestions on iknowjax.com. And without suggestions from our television viewers and our website visitors, I couldn't say I Know Jax at all. If you missed our stories from the Riverside Arts Market, Fox Restaurant, Daytona International Speedway, the Fish Company, First Wednesday Art Walk, comedian Danny Johnson, or the Sweethearts for Soldiers calendar shoot, no worries. All the videos are available online at knowjax.com. And it would be a big help if you can spread the word by sharing your favorite videos on Facebook and giving us your comments and suggestions. Next week's show is going to be funked up and funkalicious because I got the funk, which translated means I got the opportunity to meet one of my favorite musicians of all time, Dr. Funkenstein himself, George Clinton. You get this story and more in I Know Jax next week. And until then, I'll see you on the internet.